This is the Jillian Greyse Show, Vibrational Architect. I teach the discipline of redesigning the internal patterns that shape your love, your relationships, and the life you quietly know you were meant to live. Whether you're moving through familiar emotional cycles or you're a high achiever who senses there's more available to you, you're in the right place. This is where people learn to master the architecture of their lives and release the patterns holding them back from their inner blueprint. Each episode ends with a guided transmission to anchor the vibration we're working with so you can fully step into becoming the architect of your own life. Join me, Jillian Greyse, as we pull back the layers and rebuild the vibration you were always meant to live from.
Welcome back to the Jillian Greyse Show. Today we're stepping into a concept that has been quietly shaping your life long before you had language for it. A concept that explains why you feel things you can't justify, why your body reacts before your mind understands, why you sense shifts before they arrive, why you just know something is coming even when nothing in your current reality points to it. This is what I call the somatic echo. The phenomenon when your body remembers a future version of you before your conscious mind is ready to acknowledge it. This is not intuition. This is not manifestation. It's not timeline jumping. This is quantum biology, the intersection of your nervous system, your electromagnetic field, and the future identity you're already resonating with. Today we're going to go deep into physics, into the body, into the subconscious, and into the energetic architecture of becoming. So let's settle in. First, what is the somatic echo? A somatic echo is a physical sensation that arises when your nervous system detects a future identity that is already encoded into your field. It's the flutter in your chest when you think about the possibility that you're not quite ready for. It's the heaviness in your stomach when you're out of alignment with who you're becoming. It's the restlessness that shows up before a major life shift. It's the sudden exhaustion when an old identity is dissolving. It's the magnetic pull towards something you can't logically explain. A somatic echo is your body saying, I've already met the version of you you're becoming, and it's meant to guide you towards that frequency. It's not imagination. It's not wishful thinking. It's not a spiritual metaphor. It's physics. Your body is a quantum sensor. Your nervous system is an antenna. Your electromagnetic field extends 6 to 10 feet beyond your physical form. And that field is constantly interacting with potentials, future states, the identities that already exist in the quantum landscape. Your body feels the resonance of your future self before your mind can interpret it. And that resonance is the somatic echo, the quantum mechanics behind it. So let's talk physics in a way that's digestible, embodied, and relevant to your lived experience. In quantum mechanics, there's a principle called superposition. And superposition means that multiple versions of reality exist simultaneously until one is chosen or observed. Your future identities, the ones aligned with your highest coherence, they already exist in superposition. Your body can feel them. Why? Because your body is not bound by linear time. Your cells operate on oscillation, not chronology. Your heart emits an electromagnetic field that is measurable and responsive to non-local information. Your nervous system is constantly scanning for coherence, for the frequency that feels like home, even if you haven't lived it. This is why you can feel a shift coming before it arrives. This is why you can sense a relationship ending before the conversation happens. This is why you can feel drawn to a city you've never visited. This is why you can feel the presence of a future partner before you even meet them. This is why you can feel the collapse of an old identity before you consciously choose to let it go. Your body is responding to frequency, not logic. Your future self has a frequency. Your body recognizes that frequency long before your mind does. This is the somatic echo. Why the body knows first. Your mind is a historian. Your body is an oracle. Your mind uses memory. Your body uses resonance. Your mind asks, is this safe? Is this familiar? Is this logical? Your body asks, is this true? And truth vibrates. Your body is constantly scanning for the frequency that matches your next evolution. And when it finds it, it reacts, not with words, not with thoughts, but with sensation, a tightness, a pull, a flutter, a heaviness, a spark, a knowing. Your body is reacting to your future. And this is why the somatic echo arrives before clarity, before certainty, before understanding. Your body leads, your mind follows. Now we'll move on to the 3 somatic markers of an incoming shift. There are 3 primary somatic markers that show up when your body has already connected with the future identity. Let's go deep into each one. So first is the pull. The pull is a magnetic sensation towards something that makes no logical sense. So it can be a person, it can be a decision, it can be a relationship, it can be a new version of you, it can be a place. It's not desire, it's not fantasy, it's not impulsivity, it's recognition. Your body is saying this is where your future self lives. It often feels like a soft, forward leaning energy, a warm expansion in the chest, a subtle hum in your solar plexus, a sense of inevitability, a quiet yes that won't go away. The pull is a somatic echo in its truest form. Pay attention to that. And it's subtle. It's not that feeling of intensity. It's not that feeling of you can't live without it. It's a slight feeling like home in a way that you can't quite describe. The second part is the disruption. And this is where people get confused and where most self-sabotage occurs. So when your body is reorganizing itself to match a future identity, your system destabilizes a little bit. Your sleep changes, your appetite shift, your tolerance for certain people evaporates. You feel restless. You can't force yourself to do what you used to do. This is not dysregulation. This is energetic reorganization. Your body is clearing space for the identity that's arriving. The disruption isn't a problem, it's a sign of alignment. Now, can you also feel those disruptive states and be making decisions that are of a lower frequency from your natural choice or from what's aligned with your soul? So yes, many of you who have worked with me privately know that at times when you're going against your true nature, you also will have disturbances of your sleep. You'll also have overindulgences and changes in your appetite. That's a different emotion. That's a different driver. And how you tell the difference between the two is when you're having more of a somatic disruption, what you're going to find is that even though you aren't sleeping as well, you still have energy. And your appetite is going to shift towards positive choices, not negative indulgences. And the people that you stop being able to be surrounded by are going to be people that were normally taking from you, not people that you just can't listen to what they have to say anymore because you're on one specific path and you don't want to hear other opinions. So there's differences between those 2 frequencies. I want to make that clear so that you understand that yes, one of those emotions is rooted in life lessons and things you might be driven to do by your lower frequencies. The other one is rooted in allowing and remembering that new energy and that new frequency to unfold in front of you. And when that happens, it feels more like home. Third, the void. And I just spoke about this in one of my last podcasts. So if you're interested in this topic, take a peek at that last podcast because I do a deep dive into the void specifically. So the void is the most misunderstood part of transformation. It's the space between versions. It's the moment the old identity dissolves, but the new one isn't fully anchored yet. So you feel untethered or disoriented or unmotivated, uninterested in old patterns, unable to go backwards, but you really don't know how to go forwards. This is the somatic echo at its loudest. Your body is holding the frequency of the future while your mind is still releasing the past. The void is not emptiness, it's incubation. It's the womb of your new identity.
Next, the somatic echo versus anxiety. And I wanted to cover this specifically because I've strongly spoken out several times around anxiety and how we mislabel it. Anxiety in our culture is anything that causes a quickening in your emotional state. It's anything that makes your heart rate rise. It's anything that makes you feel that quote unquote nervous energy. And here's the problem with that. When we have shifts of frequency on this planet, we just talked about that electromagnetic field around your body. It's going to be affected by the etheric energy that moves in. So when we have geomagnetic activity, when we have any level of shifts in our Schumann resonance, when we have anything that goes on with certain alignments, you're going to fall into a heightened frequency. And in our culture, we call that heightened nervous, quote unquote, energy, anxiety. And the moment you do that, you rob yourself from walking into that next stage, that next period for you, that next future self that's calling you. You rob yourself from being able to attune to those frequencies, use them for what they are. Let your energy connect, let your energy breathe. And you start to label any kind of enlightenment as negative. Because once you say, in this feeling, I am anxious and this is something that's wrong, you lose the ability to tap into the frequencies properly so that they can enhance your connection. And I always like to make this clear to everybody. I did a podcast about this as well. You have to be very, very careful because the level of that emotion is very important. In recognizing that emotion, in understanding it, is key to being able to move past the fear around it. And if instead of in those moments when you get those heightened feelings, you decide you're going to go for a walk, you decide you're going to do some deep breathing, you decide you're going to take a moment to maybe do some mantras to bring your head into a good space, you decide you're going to listen to some light music to bring you back to center, you're actually going to integrate those frequencies and enhance your potential for being connected and your intuition to rise versus enhance your wounds, enhance your lower vibrations, enhance that victimization frequency. And those are decisions that you have the opportunity to make at any given point. And for anyone who's interested in when those shifts are going to happen, I have my social medias are dedicated to this. Whenever we have any shifts in the geomagnetic frequencies, whenever we have any movement in the Schumann resonance, I do my best to jump on and let people know that those are taking place so that you have a heads up, so that you know that you don't go in that direction and allow it to consume you. So it's extremely important to be able to acknowledge that. And I keep everybody up to date on it. If you want to take a peek in the notes of this podcast, you will be able to see my social medias on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok. I do everything I can to keep it up to date. There's so much going on, but I jump on whenever we have those shifts for a purposeful reason because I've worked with people for so long and I've seen these patterns time and time again. And as soon as you can acknowledge, okay, I'm having a high day where I feel very anxious. As soon as you can acknowledge, okay, I feel very anxious today, and then you can see that it's correlated with those shifts, it starts to put the control and the power back into your hands so that you can understand them for what they are and use them for architecting your reality. So the difference between that somatic frequency and anxiety is anxiety contracts. Somatic energy helps you to expand. Anxiety says to you something's wrong. Somatic echoes say something's coming. Anxiety tightens your chest. Echoes open. Anxiety causes you to spiral. The echo stabilizes. Anxiety puts you in a state of where you fear the unknown. The echo is a recognition of the inevitable. So if you feel this expansion, even subtle, it's not anxiety. Your future self is calling you forward. There's a very clear difference between those things. So when you experience that somatic understanding starting to enter your field again, it's going to feel like you are headed into the direction of the unknown, but there's a peacefulness and a home around it. So be aware of that so you don't, again, label that as anxiety and end up lost in the loop. How to work with a somatic echo. So here's how to partner with this echo instead of resisting it. First, you need to stop trying to label it.
The echo is not meant to be understood immediately, it's meant to be felt. Let the sensation lead. Let the body lead. Place your hand on your chest, your lower stomach, wherever you're feeling any kind of frequency or emotion or shift, and say, what are you trying to show me? Your body will answer in sensation, not words. And when you start making that connection, you're going to increase your intuition. Because once you tap into that frequency, you bring it alive within you. So start paying more attention to the internal when things like this occur. That will help you to expand and then learn your next step with ease. Don't force clarity. Clarity comes after embodiment, not before. So your mind catches up once your body's already shifted, and we do this all too often. Let's say we meet someone and we have this sensation in our body, and our logical mind jumps in. It's trying to figure out where it's coming from. It's trying to figure out why you're feeling that way. It's trying to figure out how to prevent anything from going wrong in that process, because that's what our ego does. It tries to scan for safety so that we can remain in a stable state. And you start to get lost. Sometimes it's about going with the flow. And when you have a somatic memory, that echo within you, you have to go with the flow. Because if you don't, you're going to end up moving away from that future calling. And that's the hardest part, because it circles around surrender, which many of us struggle with. Next is to follow the micro pulls. So your future self speaks in micro pulls, tiny actions that feel like relief. They feel like inevitability. So as soon as you step towards whatever that frequency is, you'll start to feel like, okay, this little thing after that presented itself. This opportunity for me to do this presented itself. It's important to follow those micro pulls, because your old self is going to say, we didn't used to do that. I don't want to do that. And then if you do that, you're going to pull back into the old self when the future self is calling. So when you get the opportunity to do things that are outside of your norm, saying yes is important, because that's how you explore the future. That's how you explore the new. That's how you evolve. Make sure you're aware of it so you don't fight it as it happens. And last, let the old identity dissolve without explanation. You don't need to justify your evolution. Your body already knows where you're going. So you don't have to explain to your mind or allow yourself to articulate into words what those steps are going to look like. You're literally stepping into the unknown. So if you try to explain it with the known information, you're going to find that there's hiccups, that you hold things back, that you don't fully embody. And when you do that, you're going to run into walls. You're going to run into moments where things become paused or setbacks. So it's important. You don't need to justify it. Just go with it, which is hard for a lot of us. Trust me, I know. Okay, last, we're going to do the same thing we do at the end of each one of these podcasts. We are going to do a guided activation that takes everything that we talked about and it settles it into your field of energy. So I invite you to take some time to close your eyes, to join me for the next couple minutes while we invite this energy in and we allow ourselves to embody those frequencies that are evolving in front of us. And we learn more about deepening that somatic echo by opening and expanding our intuition to understand how we're evolving. Take a moment and place your hand on your heart. Feel the weight of your body. Feel the intelligence inside of each one of your cells. Take a slow breath in and let your shoulders soften. Feel your breath sinking, your frequency moving through your spine. Feel the echo, the resonance, the recognition. Whisper to yourself, I trust what my body knows. And let the truth settle into your cells. Take another slow, deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel your body soften one more degree. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to understand anything.
And you don't have to name what's coming. Just let yourself feel. Your body is already connected to your future. Your only job is to listen. Now bring your awareness to the space behind your heart, that subtle, quiet space where instinct and intuition meet. The place where your nervous system whispers before your mind catches up. There's a frequency there, a hum, a warmth, a pull. That's the somatic echo. Let it rise, let it move, and let it speak. And now imagine that echo begins to expand, not outward, but inward, filling the inside of your chest like a warm light, filling your ribs, filling your spine, filling the back of your heart. This is your body remembering. This is your cells responding to a version of you that already exists. A version of you that is not waiting to be created. It's waiting to be received. Let that truth settle into your bones. Now bring your awareness down to your lower belly. This is where your deepest knowing lives. The knowing that doesn't negotiate. The knowing that doesn't ask for permission. The knowing that doesn't need proof. Place your hand there if it feels right. Feel the warmth of your own touch. Feel the weight of your own presence. Feel the steadiness of your own becoming. Now imagine that future self, the one whose frequency you've been feeling, steps even closer behind you. So close that you can feel their breath on the back of your neck. So close you can feel their hands resting gently on your shoulders. So close that you can feel their energy merging with yours. They are not separate from you. They're not ahead of you. They're not waiting for you to catch up. They are you. They're already inside, just expressing at a higher coherence level. Let that presence wrap you like a warm veil. Let that steadiness become your steadiness. Let that clarity become your clarity. And now listen. Listen to the sensations. Whatever they are, that echo is guiding you. Take a slow breath in. And as you exhale, imagine that echo is traveling down your spine like a ribbon of light. Feel it settle into your hips, your legs, and your feet. You're grounding your future into your presence. And now whisper softly, I trust what my body knows. I trust what my body feels. I trust where my body is leading me. Let those words vibrate through your cells. Let them become your new baseline. Let them become your new growth. And when you're ready, take one more breath in, and you can slowly open your eyes and return to your life carrying this echo with you. Thank you for spending your time here with me today. If this episode resonated to you, make sure you're on my newsletter at jilliangreyse.com so you never miss any upcoming classes, deeper teachings. And if you're called to more personal guidance, you can explore my private sessions there as well. Until next time, trust your body, trust your echo, and I'll chat with you in the next episode. Let this episode settle into your system. And if someone in your life is moving through their own patterns or stepping into their next level, send this episode to them. The vibration you're integrating becomes stronger when it's shared. And if you feel called, liking the show or leaving a review helps this work to reach people who are meant to find it. I'm Jillian Greyse, and I'll meet you in the next episode as we keep rebuilding the blueprint that you were always meant to live from.